Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. In this video, I want to show you my honest review, and I hope I will be able to highlight all the pros and cons of this product. So let's begin.
It's one of the hardest things I've ever had to endure. My childhood friend died in my arms that night. It happened suddenly, and there was nothing I could do to avoid it, and it changed my life forever. My name is Adam Glass. I met Brian when we were 7. His family moved in next door, and we instantly became best friends. Small town, so every morning we walked to school together, took all the same classes, and went to all the same parties together. We dated the O'Malley twins at the same time, and toured Iraq at the same time during the first Gulf War. We were inseparable. We were unstoppable. Later on, we married our wives during the same summer, and we were each other's best man. Then, as usual, life got in the way. His firm relocated him to Seattle, and I became a professional researcher. Touch, though. First over the phone, and then via email. I hadn't seen Brian in almost 8 years, so I was thrilled when I learned he'd be dropping by for a weekend of shenanigans and catching up. I picked him up at his hotel, skipped dinner, and drove over to our favorite bar to have a beer and play a few rounds of darts. That's when it happened. We were doing nothing, laughing at the same stupid jokes, when Brian clutched his chest. His eyes rolled blank and he dropped forward. I tried to pick him up. I tried CPR. I tried yelling his name. Just like that, he was gone. A widowmaker, the paramedic said. It's a type of massive heart attack that happens when the main coronary gets clogged abruptly. Breaking the news to his wife and his mom, it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. We were all frozen in shock. Brian had just turned 45 when he passed away. And what's even more baffling, he was in the best shape of his life. He never smoked, rarely drank, kept a healthy diet, and exercised every single day. It just didn't make sense. I mean, how could this happen? Why did it happen? And even though I never said it, I was worried sick that it could happen to me too. So ever since that night, I started researching everything I could on heart health. I've been at it for nearly 3 years now, and let me tell you, some of the things I've discovered during these past years of research would absolutely terrify you. And in this short video, I'm going to share some of them with you. But more importantly, I'm also going to share the critical information on how the latest breakthroughs in natural heart health are raising eyebrows in the medical establishment because they can turn back the clock and actually reverse aging, repair the damage that's already affecting your heart and arteries, and lead you to live a long, active, and healthy life. So if you're 40 or getting close, you need to pay close attention because this might be the most important video you'll ever watch. Soon after Brian's funeral, a study landed on my desk that shocked me to the core. Researchers followed 9,376 healthy male civil servants over the course of 9 years and 4 months. When the study began, men were between 45 and 64. None of them had any history of heart disease whatsoever. They were healthy. Yet over the course of the study, a whopping 474 of them had heart attacks. That's more than 1 in 20. And none of them were over 74 years of age. So, did that mean that if you're between 45 and 74, even if you eat right and exercise, pass your medical checkup with flying colors, you have about a 1 in 20 chance of having a heart attack? That's crazy. Yes, we're talking about people who are getting up in their years a little bit, 50 and older, but they're healthy. Remember Jim Fixx? In 1977, the bestseller called The Complete Book of Running, and as you can guess, he was a running fanatic. Yet in 1984, when Jim was 52, he dropped dead of a heart attack while jogging down Vermont's Route 15. Now, on the outside, Jim was a picture of health. He ate right, he exercised like a nut, but underneath his athletic-like exterior, Jim had 3 blocked arteries. One was 70% blocked, another 80%, and the last 95%. I asked myself, if Jim Fixx was such a health nut, why were his arteries so damn plugged? Then there's Bob Harper. Now, I don't know if you know Bob. He's been a trainer on NBC's The Biggest Loser since 1994. But Bob suffered a widowmaker heart attack, the same kind that killed James Gandolfini in 2013. But unlike Gandolfini, Harper was a picture of health. Yet he had a blocked artery. Now, Harper survived, but it should have never happened in the first place. Then there's Alan Thicke. You might remember him from the TV show Growing Pains in the 80s. Thicke was surprisingly fit. At age 69, he was still playing hockey. Yet while playing, he got some chest pain. Thicke was smiling as they loaded him into the ambulance, but was pronounced dead soon after. Just like the civil servants in that study that opened my eyes, all 3 of these men were fit and healthy on the surface, and none of them should have had a heart attack, yet they did. You can't chalk it all up to genetics either. We all know plenty of people who had good genetics and died young anyway, or people with bad genetics who outlived everyone else. But even the director of the Center for Human Genetic Research at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston admits, for heart attack at least, DNA is not destiny. Luckily, the simple answers did not cut the mustard for me. What I've discovered, and what I'm going to share with you here, has the power to alter your destiny. What if you no longer had to accept heart problems as a given, simply because you're getting older? How would you like to have the heart of your 20-year-old self, no matter how old you are today? And I'm not talking about a transplant. You see, the solution I'm going to share with you could make that obsolete, but you'll never see it on the 6 o'clock news. Now, before telling you how you can put your heart attack worries behind you, you need to understand why healthy older people have heart attacks in the first place. It all starts with the little power plants inside your cells, called mitochondria. Mitochondria are responsible for turning food into cellular energy. They're responsible for every ounce of energy created in your body. Whenever you climb a flight of stairs, whenever you garden or golf, whenever you do something as simple as flex a muscle, the energy you do it with comes from millions of microscopic mitochondria. You might think that since your entire body needs energy, that the mitochondria are spread out evenly, but that's not the case. Take your biceps. Your biceps have about 200 mitochondria in every cell. That's what it takes to flex your muscles, pick up your groceries, or raise your arms to scratch your nose. Not 200 mitochondria in your biceps, 200 mitochondria in every cell in your biceps. But it takes 5,000 mitochondria in each heart cell to keep it pumping strong. Your heart is the biggest user of mitochondria by far. And yet, as important as mitochondria are, 1 out of every 6 people have mitochondria dysfunction. It turns out, as we get older, our mitochondria start to mutate. Our cells come under attack from toxins, from stress, but mostly from free oxygen radicals. These toxins cause the mitochondria to mutate and die out. Each time, it's like a microscopic blackout. Picture your heart full of millions of energy plants that are going dark, one by one. That's exactly what happens as we age. The process takes years, but eventually, your heart lacks the energy to even beat properly. It gets sluggish and irregular. If you've ever felt your heart skip a beat or had a single powerful beat that scared you, you might be experiencing what happens when your heart doesn't have enough energy. Without help, this happens to all of us. But the process starts when you're 30 and takes years before it's a killer. And that's the real reason teenagers don't suffer heart attacks. Their mitochondria haven't been under attack long enough. Not enough of them have mutated yet. So their heart has plenty of energy to fire on all cylinders. For us, though, every year takes its toll. As mitochondria die off, our heart doesn't have the energy it needs to pump like it should. Our heart doesn't fire right. It gets sluggish, so it must work harder to try and keep blood flowing to your arteries. Your heart is like any other muscle. It grows when it's overworked. So your heart becomes enlarged. Then it takes on excess fluid, straining itself even more, until finally blood backs up in your lungs and other vital organs. It's called congestive heart failure, or CHF. 5 million Americans have CHF, and there's 500,000 new cases every year. And CHF is nasty. It leaves you short of breath, tired, and weak. Your legs, ankles, and feet swell, your heart beats funny, and you pick up a cough that won't seem to go away. Over time, CHF will kill you if left untreated, and I've been told it feels like you're drowning, but it's slow, so you have this horrible feeling for months. Young people don't get CHF because they still have plenty of mitochondria to keep their heart pumping. Here's the other reason teenagers don't get heart attacks. Have you heard about good cholesterol and bad cholesterol? The good cholesterol is called HDL, high-density lipoprotein. HDL sweeps gunk out of your arteries. Now the bad cholesterol is called LDL, low-density lipoprotein. LDL sticks to the walls of your arteries and blocks them up. They say your levels of LDL increase by eating bacon, cheese, red meat, and other foods most of us love. But that's only half the story. After all, teenagers eat a pile of that stuff, and they aren't dropping dead on the ground with blocked arteries like Jim Fixx and Alan Thicke did. So what's really going on? Well, as it turns out, LDL cholesterol doesn't grab on to the walls of your arteries. It doesn't block the blood flow to your heart, not by itself anyway. In young people, LDL cholesterol particles pass through the arteries like a hot knife through butter. It simply doesn't cause kids any problems. But as we get older, something changes. Our LDL particles start to rust. And as LDL particles rust, that's when they get stuck to your artery walls. The rust builds up and causes heart attacks. So how does this happen? Well, it's not exactly rust. Rust is the term for what happens when iron meets free oxygen radicals and oxidizes. But lots of other things besides iron oxide as well. The skin that forms on pudding is an example of oxidation, but you don't want oxidation on your LDL particles. That's what turns them into deadly plaque. And it's oxidation that mutates and kills off your mitochondria too. If it's oxidation that causes plaque, and it's oxidation that kills your energy-producing mitochondria, then it makes sense to stop oxidation dead in its tracks. Which brings me back to my compound CSP I've been telling you about. Compound CSP eliminates harmful oxidation, which keeps your blood flowing smoothly, your heart pumping strong, and your energy levels at their peak. Just what is compound CSP? It's the name I gave the mixed supernutrients that I discovered when researching all of this. I set out to discover why teenagers don't have heart attacks, even though they have brutal diets. And when I discovered oxidation as one of the main problems, I was pissed. You see, the C in compound CSP is CoQ10. It turns out that CoQ10 is an antioxidant. You know about antioxidants if you've ever taken vitamin E. But CoQ10 is much better at keeping LDL from turning into plaque than vitamin E is. And that's why I was so pissed. Doctors still routinely recommend vitamin E like it's candy. But according to Harvard Medical School, it's been linked to cancer. And of course, the public is easily fooled because they hear the word vitamin and they assume it's safe. I don't blame the patients for taking that. I blame the industry. Why are they recommending an antioxidant that causes cancer, especially when it's inferior to CoQ10 in the first place? I suspect it all boils down to money somehow. They should be recommending CoQ10 instead. CoQ10 isn't some foreign commercial. It's already produced in every cell of your body. But when you hit about 30, you start to lose CoQ10. You might have noticed it when your energy levels stopped being like it used to. It just got that much harder to concentrate and remember. There were aches and pains that you started to get, but probably brushed it off. But here's the thing. The fact is you lose up to about 72% of your CoQ10 as you near old age. Without enough of this natural antioxidant on board, slowly at first, your LDL particles start to rust. Plaque starts building up. Your heart starts to enlarge and can't beat properly. Until the next thing you know, you're riding in the back of an ambulance, writhing in pain like Alan Thicke. Or worse, you simply die. And if you take statins, your CoQ10 levels dip even faster. Statins alone lower CoQ10 levels by a whopping 40%. Yep, a drug that's supposed to help your heart does more damage to your heart in the long run. We need to preserve your CoQ10 levels at all costs. Not only does CoQ10 keep oxidants at bay, it's the that helps mitochondria turn food into energy. Here's what happens. As you know, your mitochondria start to die off as you get older, but the mitochondria you have left needs CoQ10 to produce maximum energy. So, when your CoQ10 and your mitochondria deplete starting around 30, it's a double whammy, and lots of bad stuff happens. Yes, when CoQ10 levels get dangerously low, our arteries harden. Blood starts backing up in other organs. Our memory gets foggy, and our energy levels plummet too. On the other hand, when we bring our CoQ10 levels back up where they need to be, your arteries flow freely, your blood pressure relaxes, your heart keeps pumping strong, you think more clearly, and you add that bounce back into your step. I read a study about 420 heart patients who had heart failure. Researchers gave half the group CoQ10 alone, and they gave the other half a placebo. Over the next 2 years, the group given CoQ10 had 43% fewer deaths. In other words, 175 fewer people had deadly heart attacks, which led me to wonder, where can you get the CoQ10 you need? You can find CoQ10 pretty much anywhere, but as you'll see in a moment, the last thing you want to do right now is grab a generic, mass-produced bottle at CVS. First, I have to show you what to look for, since not all CoQ10 is created equal. But more importantly, my compound CSP has 2 other ingredients, and when they're put together, they're heart health and energy powerhouses. The S in compound CSP is Silogit. On its own, Silogit strokes your energy levels, maintains peak mental alertness, and promotes heart health. It's a thick, black-brown, tar-like mineral oil that grows on the sides of mountains of Tibet and in the Himalayas. It's plant material that oozes from the mountain itself. They call it blood of the mountain. Silliget was discovered when locals looked up and saw white monkeys sitting on the side of a mountain chewing on the tar. You might wonder if hiking up the side of a mountain to grab some sticky mineral oil is worth it. It is. Silliget contains 85 different minerals your body needs to function properly. But when it comes to your heart, the biggest benefit is Silliget doubles the effect of CoQ10. So if you take CoQ10 supplement, Silliget will make more of the CoQ10 available for your mitochondria to turn into heart-saving energy. In fact, even in large muscle groups like your heart, Silliget and CoQ10 deliver a landslide 144% more energy, which keeps your heart pumping strong, just like when you were 20. When you combine Silliget with CoQ10, you get a 56% brain energy boost. What does 56% more brain energy feel like? Mental fogginess and confusion disappear. Your mind is quick, calm, and confident. As an energy booster and proven heart health booster, it just plain works. And while Silliget grows on the side of a mountain in the Himalayas, you don't have to scale a mountain to get your hands on it. In a minute, I'll lead you to the Silliget, and I'll reveal how you can use its healing powers without having to chew on tar. But first, I need to finish telling you about compound CSP. There's one last ingredient in my compound CSP that you don't know about yet, and that's pyrroloquinoline quinone, or PQQ for short. I've illustrated how when you hit 30, you start to lose both mitochondria and the CoQ10 that powers them. When you take CoQ10, you elevate the amount of energy your mitochondria can produce, and Silliget supercharges the process, adding more CoQ10 as fuel. But PQQ goes one giant step further. PQQ grows new mitochondria. Imagine that. PQQ grows fresh, new mitochondria. CoQ10 fuels them, and Silliget stuffs more CoQ10 into every cell. It's like adding more cylinders to your car's engine, then making all the cylinders bigger, and finally adding high-octane fuel. Your car would run like a Formula One and be bursting with newfound energy. Only instead of a well-tuned car, you'll have a well-tuned cardiovascular system. With Silliget, CoQ10 and PQQ working together to drastically stimulate cellular energy, keeping your heart pumping strong and your brain in top shape too. When you take all three of these super nutrients together in exactly the right dosage and from the right sources and made by the right manufacturers, you feel full of energy and you've got more gumption to tackle life's challenges. And the benefits of PQQ don't end there. PQQ is an antioxidant too, so it helps keep your LDL cholesterol from turning into life-stealing plaque. PQQ is found in parsley, green peppers, kiwi, and tofu. So can you simply eat more of those foods? Well, you could, but you'd have to eat about 200 pounds of the stuff a day to get the 20 milligrams of PQQ that your body needs. It'd take you a month of eating those foods just to get the PQQ that you need for one single day. As you can see, compound CSP is like the holy trinity of heart health. 3 perfect nutritional ingredients combined to create an extraordinary energy booster and heart saver. Unfortunately, they don't sell it over the counter. You could try to Mickey Mouse your own blend together. If you're lucky, you might find a bottle with the right dosage of CoQ10 and PQQ, but you won't likely find high-quality Silliget. Without Silliget, you'd be missing up to 144% of the energy needed in your heart. Using CoQ10 and PQQ without Silliget is like having a Ferrari and putting cheap gas in it. Even if you can find a steady source of high-quality Silliget, it's critical that you get the right amounts of CoQ10 and PQQ too. Too much of anything is a waste, and too little won't protect your heart or fuel your brain. Yes, compound CSP is the biggest breakthrough in heart health that I've seen in my entire career, and it has the added benefit of boosting sagging energy levels as well. But you have to get quality ingredients in the right dosage, or you're throwing your money away. And if by some miracle you found all 3 ingredients of highest quality and in the right dosages, it would cost you a small fortune. Now, at first my goal was just to alert the world to this life-changing information, to sound the alarm on the crooked or uncaring medical machine that pushes statins and recommends vitamin E, to demonstrate that what you eat is not the heart culprit we assume it to be, to reveal the truth behind why so many heart attacks happen to those of us who are getting older, even when We religiously follow all the rules, but it's become clear that showing you the truth is not enough. So I had a choice to make. After all, it's impossible that you'd find the correct ingredients and dosages in your hometown. I mean, your local pharmacist is not scaling the side of a mountain looking for Silogit. So, rather than leave you high and dry, or let the big vitamin companies suck you dry, I created the formula myself. With some help, I recruited the best nutritional supplement manufacturer in America and begged them to take on my compound CSP formula. And after they looked at the stacks of clinical research I showed them, they finally agreed. The manufacturer took my exact compound CSP specifications. They used highest quality ingredients in the precise quantities and produced it for me in a good manufacturing principles GMP facility right here in the States. And so we recently released a limited production run with a name more suitable to what the product does for you. Cardio Clear 7. Cardio Clear 7 is 100% natural. It's an exact replica of the compound CSP I've been telling you about, the one developed through years of research. And it's every bit the breakthrough as I could have hoped for. Cardio Clear 7 contains 3 main ingredients: CoQ10, PQQ, and Silogit. The right ingredients and in the right doses too. Then, within hours of taking your first one, the PQQ starts building more mitochondria, those cellular power plants. Your CoQ10 levels increase. Newfound energy surges through your heart, your brain, your lungs. And the Silogit kicks the whole process into high gear. Soon after starting Cardio Clear 7, you'll breathe a sigh of pure relief. You don't have to constantly worry about heart health. You have more energy. Your mental fog starts to lift, and your memory is like a steel trap again. Soon, you too can notice a remarkable difference in your health and your life. Like Linda Olmain did. Linda felt a sensation in her chest, as if her heart was skipping beats. Plus, she was so tired that climbing a flight of stairs felt like a major effort. Then Linda tried Cardio Clear 7, and she couldn't believe how great she felt. Linda told us, "After starting on Cardio Clear 7, the skipping in my heart stopped. I'm able to climb stairs without feeling exhausted. And everyone says my good. I feel great." Then there's the email we received from the 64-year-old gentleman. He struggled with brain fog and fatigue for years. That is, until he found Cardio Clear 7. Now he tells a different story. "My thinking has become muddied over the years, but since taking Cardio Clear 7, my thinking ability has gotten better. I can think quickly and logically. I haven't been able to do that for 20 years. Even better, I can complete my extended walks with energy left over. I'm able to power walk without much effort." Then there's this unsolicited email we received from another happy user. "About 2 to 3 weeks after I first started using it, I noticed more stamina and energy, and I'm able to work out harder. My heart feels stronger. My blood pressure is now healthy." Here's what another thrilled user had to say. "When I take Cardio Clear 7, I feel better, stronger during the day. Even after a long sleepless night, I have a sense that my heart health is in better condition without having to take super strong medication that would have some bad side effects." And then we received this testimonial from another happy Cardio Clear 7 customer. "I started taking Cardio Clear 7 on March 5th. I had blood work done on March 18th. Within that short period of time, my triglycerides went from 95 to 83. My total cholesterol went from 438 to 389, and my LDL dropped from 350 to 316. I've tried other products, but my cholesterol didn't improve like this. I also have more energy, and I'm walking more. Just 2 little caps of Cardio Clear 7 a day is all it takes." But will it break the bank? You'd think that something as effective as Cardio Clear 7 would have to be expensive. That was my concern when I initially started this project. I worried that the Silogit would drive costs through the roof. But it turned out the opposite was true. A colleague of mine owns a company in Asia, and he's been able to supply us with as much high-quality Silogit as we need, at prices most American companies wouldn't be able to touch. This keeps quality high and costs low. And as I mentioned earlier, as a market experiment, I'm introducing Cardio Clear 7 to you today at an even lower price. So I'm happy to report that you're going to find Cardio Clear 7 easily affordable. Normally, a 30-day supply is $99.95. Even at that price, it's a steal at just $3.31 a day. After all, what is it worth to have more energy, more peace of mind, and more time? What is it worth to have a sharper brain and a stronger heart? Of course, there's no price that's too big for things. Besides, CardioClear 7 could even save you money down the road, save you from sky-high medical bills. Even at the regular price of $99.95, CardioClear 7 is more than worth it. But, as I had mentioned earlier, I'm doing a market experiment, and so I'm offering you this crazy deal. But, fair warning, this is a special offer you'll only see during this presentation. And once you leave this page, the deal will be gone forever, and you'll have to pay the higher price like everybody else. So do yourself a favor and grab this special deal now. For today only, you can get a bottle of CardioClear 7 for just $49.95. That's a savings of 50% off the regular price. But to get that deal, you have to do it right now. Even if you want to show it to your doctor before taking it, or show it to your kids, or you're not sure if it's for you, grab it today anyway. Because you're only going to get the introductory special price of $49.95 today. Besides, you have absolutely no risk. If for some reason you don't want to keep it, we'll take it back, and we'll give you your money back too. That's right, I guarantee that CardioClear 7 will work for you. And I put my money where my mouth is. Right now, below this presentation, you're going to see a yellow button. When you click the yellow button, you'll meet me on a secure page where you can order your bottle of CardioClear 7. As soon as you place your order, we'll ship it out to you right away. Since it's made in the U.S., you'll get it fast. Then, start taking one CardioClear 7 soft gel every morning and one every night. You'll know it's working fast. You'll feel the extra energy. You'll start to think clearer too. You'll feel better all over, even inside. That's exactly how my patients describe it to me. And it's exactly what we hear from other folks too. Like Joyce Newbaum. Heart problems ran in her family. She lost her younger brother to heart failure. Her older brother already suffered one heart attack. And Joyce herself had a stent put in, underwent triple bypass surgery, and took several different heart medications. So how did CardioClear 7 work for her? Within about 2 weeks, my pressure dropped. In fact, my blood pressure is lower than at any other time. It keeps my pressure normal, even when I'm under stress, which right now I'm having a lot of. Some of the meds I'm on can cause side effects like liver damage, but with CardioClear 7, I don't have to worry about that. Thanks so much. Renee Remington told us, I was experiencing some heart issues, and I thought this might help. Well, within a few days, I felt more energized and less fatigued. I didn't need to take my 2 p.m. nap. CardioClear 7 has certainly increased my overall well-being. I don't feel like I'm aging. Scott Bardo felt tired, dizzy, and run down, like he was withering away. That is, until he tried CardioClear 7. Scott now reports, I have more energy and more mental clarity. CardioClear 7 allows me to live a normal life like I once had. Roger Daughtry said, I'm in my early 50s, and soon after starting my first bottle, I began to feel better. No more minor chest discomfort. Brett Combs couldn't believe his results either. Brett suffered from a history of heart problems, including chest discomfort, clogged arteries, and even 2 heart attacks. Having nothing to lose, Brett gave CardioClear 7 a try. Here's what he had to say. I can run up my driveway with no problem. Before, I could only get halfway up at a walk before stopping. I lost weight, and not having chest pain in the marital bedroom is pretty good too. Thanks a heap, guys. Then we received this unsolicited success story from this thrilled user. She reported, I had water retention and swelling in my legs and feet. It was painful, and it was difficult to get around. Nothing I tried helped. Then my doctor mentioned she may have to increase my blood pressure meds, and I started getting nervous. So I decided to try CardioClear 7. CardioClear 7 helped reduce the swelling. I have fewer body aches, and I move more easily. My blood pressure went down. Plus, I have less fatigue, more energy, and my memory is better too. Impressive, isn't it? Our files are packed with even more remarkable CardioClear 7 success stories. And we can't wait to hear yours too. For some reason, it doesn't do the same for you, or if your doctor says no, you'll give us a call. We'll give you your money back. One bottle of CardioClear 7 lasts for 30 days, but we give you 365 days to call and get your money back. Why would we have such a bold guarantee? Because CardioClear 7 works. So it's rarer than a white peacock that anybody wants to send a bottle back. That was very important to me when I first started talking to the manufacturer. I wouldn't develop the product if you had to shoulder any risk at all, and I'm happy to say that the manufacturer did not let me down. They gave me exactly what I wanted, and with the guarantee that goes with it. Let me sweeten the deal for you by giving you the following. Fast action bonuses when you try Cardio Clear 7 today. Fast action bonus 1, the Diabetes Loophole book, a $47 value. The special guide that Big Pharma doesn't want you to read. In this report, which is only for those who try out Cardio Clear 7 today, we share health secrets that will allow you to break the cycle that is crushing over 9 million Americans. You don't need to depend on painful injections anymore. Imagine never having to inject yourself or a loved one every time you get hungry. Remove the stress of this crippling disease from your life. Fast action bonus number 2. Belly Fat Furnace, a $97 value. Only for people who make the right decision now and try Cardio Clear 7. Learn how to melt away the pounds that have been slowly creeping into your body for years. Imagine fitting into your wedding dress again, or that prom tuxedo. When was the last time you or the one you love wore that high school Letterman jacket? How good will it feel to finally go to the tailor to get something taken in rather than let out? Your body is so precious, and it's time to melt away the fat and look 10, 20, or even 30 years younger. Fast action bonus number 3, Conquering Chronic Pain Library, a $177 value. This special guide is an absolute must to turn off those aches and pains in your hands and joints. In this report, which is only for those who try out Cardio Clear 7 today, we share health secrets that will allow you to eliminate the pain without needing crazy surgery or wacky Eastern medicine tricks. You don't need a...
Cool, right? Click the link in the description for my price discounted special.